Great. Thanks, Benedict. Hi, everybody. So I'm here to speak about oracles and the change that they're making in our industry. The thing that I think people need to understand about oracles is that they are a form of creating cryptographically guaranteed truth. So in some of the talks you heard about today and even the previous one, you might have seen that there needs to be a certain truth about different actors. And actually, the notion of truth is very important in deterministic systems generally. So what oracles do is they create cryptographically guaranteed truth to solve very specific problems. They don't necessarily result in creating block space or processing payment transactions, but they do inject a cryptographically form of verifiable truth that allows systems to function correctly. And even some of the previous talks you've heard today and yesterday, the very specific problem that they were trying to address was defining and identifying what was true about an actor like a node or about any other thing such as a piece of data. What we do at Chainlink and the body of work that we're involved in is creating cryptographic truth around a multitude of topics that enable entirely new industries to come to life, such as DeFi. The first category where we've generated the largest amount of cryptographic truth is basically market data, which gave rise to DeFi and led it to grow to over 200 billion. Then we moved on to compute and other categories. Generally speaking, the way I view what we do with oracles and what oracles are more and more is as truth infrastructure. And once again, in deterministic systems that need inputs and that need things proven to them, there needs to be a truth infrastructure to allow them to interact with the world in an accurate and reliable way. At this point, we've put the largest amount of data on chain ever, once again resulting in the rise of DeFi on multiple chains. Right now, this data is being put on approximately 14 to 16 different chains and environments, with more and more on the way. The Chainlink system has also been widely used. So in addition to putting the data on, it gets regularly used by various different categories of applications, from gaming to DeFi to others. And once again, these applications can't work without cryptographically guaranteed truth, largely in this case based on market data, but expanding to many, many other categories. The category that we expanded to next was random number generation. And in many chains, we've become, the Chainlink network has become the most widely used source of randomness as a source of truth about a random event or that something is actually random. The ability to scale all of this data, all of these randomness requests, all of these compute functions, and soon cross-chain communications is based on us being able to make over 1,000 simultaneously running production committees. So when you hear people talking about making side chains or shards or subnets or parachains or any other category of scalability, that is basically making smaller committees that execute specific application code or specific application block space. And I'm very proud to say that we have been able to generate and run simultaneously and are now running simultaneously over 1,000 of these committees about various categories of cryptographically verifiable truth, enabling hundreds of billions of dollars in value. The body of work that we're engaged in is really around inventing new cryptographic protocols that generate this cryptographically verified truth for more and more categories of truth, whether that's random number generation, data, cross-chain communication, proving the reputation of a node, or any other category where a very specific thing needs to be true in order for a system or an application to exist. We then provide and have also invented the Oracle network environment, which can really be viewed as a general purpose, trust minimized computing environment that does all the trust minimized computation that needs to be reliable, but which a blockchain cannot do. And while that starts with data, it then expands to compute like randomness, and then to bridges, and then to many other categories of compute, because it's all really the same thing. It's trust minimized computation. And then our fundamental goal is to allow other people to build all of these protocols in this trust minimized compute environment, and to build the largest community of people building these trust minimized computations that enable other applications working on blockchains. So injecting very specific cryptographically guaranteed truth about a cross-chain transfer or a piece of market data or a random number generation event or even a specific user-defined computation. So this is the body of work that we're engaged in. We invite you to come work with us. We have a table out back to discuss with researchers and other people. We have huge investment in research and development in our team. And frankly, both the Oracle network environment that we invented and the data aggregation methods that power DeFi and the random number generation system that now powers the majority of blockchain gaming on many chains was all invented by us, by our research group, led by Ari Jules as our chief research scientist and Dalia Malki as our chief research officer. So if you have interest in working on a general purpose, trust minimized computation environment that solves all these problems and injects cryptographically guaranteed truth into the world, then you're very welcome to speak with me at the conference. You're very welcome to speak with the people out back at the table. And if you make an application that needs a very specific trust minimized computation, then I encourage you to look into this as a solution because it's what has allowed DeFi to grow to where it is, and it can probably solve your problem as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.